Hello, everybody. This is Adrian at Computer Programming Resources, your CS instructor. And today we're going to take a look at some basic Linux operating system commands on systems information. These commands will display current information about your system, about your computerized system. And in order to do that, we're going to go and access this URL online. As you can see up here, ballard.org/JC Linux, and uh, the rest of the URL is up here. And what this is actually a virtual Linux machine running into your web browser. That way, you won't have to install um, Linux or to dual boot your machines for your classes. So it's actually a great way to teach an introduction to Linux module using this particular virtual machine by Fabrice Bellard, and it's also free. So, like I said, what you have in this is basically a full blast Linux machine running into your browser, and you can issue uh, commands at the command line and get results back as you would be on a regular Linux machine. Okay. All right. So right now, let's get back to our system information. The first command that we're gonna run and demonstrate here is hostname. It, and Hostname basically returns the name of your host. It's basically the name of your computer as it was set up in the name system. And we will discuss the name system in a separate section on how to basically set that up in Linux and all that. All right. Another command that is interesting is called whoami. As we showed in our introduction to operating systems module, um, Linux is a multi-user, also multitask and multi-process operating system. So what that means is that at any point in time, you will have the ability to have multiple users running commands, running tasks, running processes on the system. And this command simply returns the current user, the user that you're logged in as. So you're logged in as root. That's the god on the system. That's the super user on other operating systems. It's basically the user with most of the permissions and rights on the system. It can create other users. It can install software anywhere on the hard drive. It can do a lot of stuff. It can even destroy the system if it was, which it would not make a lot of sense to do, right? So another command that we will show is df. D in this command stands for disk. And by the way, there are manual pages for all these commands that you can run on any Linux machine. In any case, df will basically print out for you information about your uh, file system. And as you can see here, you have different partitions configured with different sizes. It will basically tell you um in more or less details, depending on the switches that you use, um, what files do you have and where, and how much space do they occupy. Here's a version of this command, which is using dash K switch or the K switch. Um, in the resources that we are releasing these days, a lot of these commands are explained in details. Okay, another command is du, stands for disk usage. Yeah, I ran it with this sk with this sk switches. It basically returns in kilobytes how many kilobytes of the disk I have used, and it's 58,000 kilobytes. That would be about 58 megs that I'm currently using on the current hard drive. Okay. So these are just four commands on system system information in Linux for you guys to take a look at and to show your students. There's many others that we will show in our documentation. Okay. Have a great day ahead.